What up, my fellow Knicks fans? This is your guy Marcellus Ease, and don't panic quite yet. Tonight, the Knicks kind of hit a little stumbling block in the second matchup against the Washington Wizards. It's all good. It doesn't look as bad, as it seems. Courtney Lee is out. There's no timetable on his return. Also, Enes Kanter, he had basically took a break. Took a day off, I guess. Fizdale didn't play him, but it's well deserved. His starting spot is basically solidified. He's going to be good to start off the season. It is what it is. But the Knicks tonight, overall we struggled moving the ball. We pretty much play ISO ball the whole time. But we did pretty much play much better than Washington on the defensive side, as we had more steals and blocks than they did. But pretty much, there was no ball movement. We pretty much play ISO ball with poor shooting percentages. So breaking this down by position, as guys are still battling for minutes and also to make the team, Fizdale actually inserted Frank Ntilikina into tonight's starting lineup. And Frank right away was very assertive. Very, very assertive. He finished the game 4 for 7. He had 10 points. He was taking the ball to the rack. He did get blocked a few times. At least, he's taking the ball to the rim. He's going for a certain amount of attempts. And basically with Frank, everything's going to be by trial and error. Once he makes enough mistakes, he's going to learn from it and grow and get better. Also at the point guard position, we also had Trey Burke and Emmanuel Mudiay come off the bench. Mudiay actually tonight showed signs of his passing ability, as he had quite a few good passes in tonight's game. A lot less mistakes tonight. Mudiay also had 2 steals, and he had 4 assists, and it was in very limited action. He only played about 10 minutes. Trey Burke continued pushing the ball forward. He had 10 points, but he didn't really shoot a high percentage. But he does what Fizdale wants. He pushes the ball ahead. He keeps the pace up. As Fizdale wants everything to be quick. Once you get the rebound, push it up. No matter if the center gets the rebound, the power forward gets the rebound, or the point guard. He wants you to get the rebound and push the ball up. So moving on to shooting guard, Tim Hardaway actually played great tonight. He finished 7 of 12. He had 18 points. Pretty good field goal percentage. Even good percentages shooting from 3. He was 3 of 5. So Timmy is starting to return into form right now, which is pretty good, because we're going to need him. It's pretty much going to be Tim Hardaway and Enes Kanter. They're pretty much going to eat up Porzingis' usage for shots, for rebounds. Basically, it's between those two to eat up the usage, to basically make up for the difference of Porzingis not being there. So moving on to small forward, we had Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, unfortunately, he's a rookie. He's going to go through some games like this. He didn't really have a good game. He just didn't really have it tonight. He didn't really shoot good at all. But, Kevin Knox, it's going to be games like this. This is expected. Don't get too down on Knox. It's only one game. He'll be fine. He'll recover. He'll bounce back. He'll be fine. But Lance Thomas also got the start at power forward. And Lance Thomas, once again, he shot pretty good. But tonight, it's just the Knicks had such lack of ball movement that no one really got a good flow into offensively because of it. That could be because of the point guard situation, but just overall tonight, it was a lot of ISO ball. And pretty much what that means. Players like Trey Burke, players like Alonzo Trier will actually be flourishing. Alonzo Trier was allowed to be himself tonight. They apparently call him, ISO Zoe? That's pretty much his nickname, what they gave him. But he dropped 18 points tonight. He shot a pretty high field goal percentage. He still finishes strong at the rim. He even had 2 steals. And also a couple times when Frank was on the floor, he played point guard at times. Very few possessions, but he did. Mario Hezonja also came off the bench. He had a strong game. Mario Hezonja is actually getting on, he's getting into his realm. And remember, he used to be a lottery pick, so hopefully Mario can continue doing his thing as he's in a contract year, and it's always great to have players in contract years because they tend to do better because, you know, they're looking for that straight cash. Luke Cornett also came off the bench. Luke Cornett was killing, man. He had one possession, he had 3 blocks, but the last block they called a foul. He had the whole garden rocking. Cornett, man, you know, hopefully he can make up for that, you know, for that money that the Knicks gave him. They gave him a pretty good deal, you know, coming from, I believe he was on a Westchester team, but he shows potential. He could be a good role player for us. And speaking of role players, Ron Baker, you gotta love the hustle from Ron Baker. And one thing I noticed about Ron Baker, once he gets the rebound, he actually grabs it and he actually pushes forward. He actually pushes forward, pushes the pace, and he makes good passes. Ron Baker, you know, he's definitely the type of player Fizdale is looking for. He brings a type of energy, especially to the second unit, that Fizdale is looking for. You know, sort of like that Dennis Rodman type energy, where it sparks up the team to, you know, to get hyped, to get amped, and you probably get back in a situation, you know, a desperate situation in the game to keep everyone's hopes up. Of course, we had Mitchell Robinson. He wasn't into tonight's matchup, still with that ankle sprain, but he should be fine. I don't know what they're going to do as far as his position on the team, but I believe he should still make the starting 15. And not the starting 15, but the 15-man roster. So overall, what to take from this is that the Knicks, when the ball, you know, when they don't have any ball movement, once again, it seems like it messes up the flow offensively for guys to get in rhythm to shoot. Just overall, the Knicks, I don't know what's going to be the point guard situation. They kind of have a triple-headed monster right now, trying to figure out, you know, how can they mix and match maybe Frank with, you know, Trey Burke, or Frank with Moutier, or Trey Burke with Moutier, or mix and match with Hardaway. But games like this, you know, when they're not shooting really well, they're really going to have to keep their turnovers low, which they did not tonight. And, you know, they're going to have to continue to play good defense. Most of these games, they've actually had more steals and blocks than most of their opponents. So that's a good sign. At least Fizdale kind of changed the lackadaisical culture, I would say, that was around when Hornacek was around. But other than that, you know, it is what it is. It's just a preseason game. Looks like we got 2 more left. We're going to see how, you know, this begins to play out as guys are starting to get into better shape. And, you know, the team overall identity is starting to become, you know, it's starting to formulate right now. So we'll see what happens. You guys stay safe. This is your guy Marcellus Ease. Check out my playlist below, straight New York City artists. You know, artists that are on the radio and artists that should be mainstream but not getting played at all. Check that out. It's a pretty dope playlist. And, you know, like I said, until next time, y'all stay safe. Peace.